Hello everyone, welcome to Kalpa Kendra Tarot. Today we are going to do a reading on what will be your next big breakthrough. I know that we are in the middle of the 666 portal, although this is going to be a timeless reading, but keeping up with the feel of the collective energy. I know it is a time of intense transformation, and especially for the people who are on a spiritual path, they are feeling the intensity of the energy which is currently the planet Earth is experiencing. So the surge of ascension energy that has hit us, it is not to be missed even by the people who are not spiritual. They can also sense that something is changing, something is up in the air, even though they can't exactly understand what it is. But I think it is becoming like clearer and clearer that we are shifting to a new time, a new era. Even if people don't know the concept of a new earth, and I myself cannot claim to know exactly how everything will turn out, but yes, a shift is happening, and I think we all realize it. So the energy has been so intense for the past couple of days that I had no, like, I could not find in myself the strength to get up and do a reading, but I knew that I wanted to make use of the energy and the portal, and channel messages that would be unique because of the time and the moment that I choose to do this reading. So the topic of the reading, the basically the kind of messages that I wanted to come through were, I wanted them to be spiritual. I wanted them to help us in our spiritual progress, because that is what it is all about. Even if you are at a stage in life where you are like currently worrying about a person coming back into your life, or a professional, a professional breakthrough, or any other concern which has got nothing to do with your spiritual progress, eventually this life is about finding our spiritual truth, right? And realizing who we are. It is the journey of ascension, whether or not you are on a spiritual path. So I wanted to make use of this portal to bring to you messages that would be relevant for your spiritual journey, and I hope it will resonate with you, whether or not you actively identify yourself as a spiritual person. I don't think you would be here if you weren't spiritual, but then sometimes it can happen that you have just started your spiritual journey without knowing that you are on it, because things are not as clear to you, and then you come across a tarot reading, and usually you come across a tarot reading when you are getting awakened to the fact that there's a shift happening and you need to make certain changes. It is in that transition period that tarot readings become the most relevant to you. So I completely understand that. Hang on a second. Yeah, so it is usually in times like that you come across tarot readings, and then if you decide to stick with certain, because eventually you will have certain tarot readers that you resonate with more than others, and you decide, like, depending on what kind of changes you want to see in your life, you end up choosing to stick to certain tarot readers. And because I also have channels which are sometimes not even honestly that popular, but I realized that I had to come across them because they are honestly, like, the message that they bring, and the advice, the feel, the light codes, and pretty much the realization that I have because of the people behind those channels. I know that they are necessary for my growth. So it's all happening for a reason, and there are no coincidences in life. So let's make most of this thing that has been divinely orchestrated for us, 666 portal, which is absolutely no coincidence, right? So let's get to the reading now. Let me introduce the four groups that we have today. for group 1 we have Muscovite. For group 2 we have Zebra, Jasper. For group 2 sorry, for group 3 there is red, Goldstone. And for group 4, blue, Calcite. I don't know if I said the groups right, so it is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, you would also see it in my thumbnail, so that should not be a confusion. And what else do I have to say? You can pause the video whenever you want to and select a group based on whichever one you feel the most drawn to. Do I have anything more to say? No. Then I'll see you at the click of your timestamp. Group 1. So if you had selected the Muscovite card stone, then this is your reading. Group 1, I can very simply tell you that the theme of your reading is that something had happened to you, something that broke you to the extent that you could no longer live with yourself. And when I say this, saying by, once again, alright, so I had to quickly pause to be able to find out how to say the name of the person that I was going to quote, okay, because I did not want to mispronounce it. Nothing would have happened if I did, but still I did not want to. Eckhart Tolle. So I hope you've heard about him. He is author of many spiritual books that are considered absolutely necessary for you to read if you are on a spiritual path. So Eckhart Tolle, in one of his videos where he talks about his spiritual awakening, he said that I just knew at I think he describes one night where he just woke up and he just knew that he could no longer live with himself the way he was, and then he goes on to deconstruct that idea for the audience, right? You can listen to the video if you want to, like you can listen to him speak in the video. But basically when he says that I can no longer live with myself, is something that I'm getting from your reading, that something happened to you, because back of the deck energy is Three of Swords, where you realize that I can no longer go on the way I have been going on and something needs to change, right? So first let's talk about your stone, Muscovite. So when I shuffle, I basically set an intention for the stone that will most resonate with the theme of your reading theme of the group's reading to come through. And the stone that has come out for you is Muscovite. One thing I felt about Muscovite one day when I was doing a reading on this channel, jokingly, if you had chosen that group or for, like, if you've seen that reading and watched the group which had Muscovite, then you might know that I felt like it's a very funny way of saying Muscovite, mosquito bite. Okay, it just came to my mind, and it also was very similar to the meaning of the, like, spiritual meaning of the stone. Why? Because when a mosquito bites you, you basically have to move yourself, like you have to yourself move away or kill the mosquito or do something, like action needs to be taken by you in order to put an end to what you're going through. The mosquito would not listen to you if you ask it not to do it, right? If you are from a country where you have not experienced mosquitoes, then it's another case. But if you know what mosquito like what happens when mosquitoes start irritating you, then it is you who has to take action. And Muscovite actually talks about that. Muscovite is a stone which helps you make sense of your past, in the sense that it enhances your mental agility. It makes you it makes your mind capable of, it activates your mind in a way that it starts operating at its best potential. I don't know if I can call it highest potential, because if mind starts operating at its highest potential, then imagine what would happen. But yeah, I mean, Muscovite obviously supports mental agility in the sense that your mind gets activated to be able to use all of its faculties in the best way that it can. And it helps you understand, make sense of, like, mentally, logically, practically, intellectually understand why some of the things that happened to you, so that you can get the lesson from it and move ahead. Okay. Oftentimes it happens so that we keep repeating a pattern, or we keep repeating a cycle without knowing or without understanding why it's happening to us. We keep saying to ourselves that we don't want to, like, I don't want to repeat this, or I don't want to date a person like this, or I don't want to, even in terms of astrology or psychic, when you don't find the message that you're looking for, and you keep moving from one psychic to another, one tarot reader to another, and you're like, why am I not getting the answer? It's pretty much because you want to, like, you end up manifesting the kind of things that you want to avoid. You're being so specific about what you want to avoid, that the universe makes you constantly meet the people that you want to avoid, in order to show you that you've still not grasped the lesson. Once you grasp the lesson, then your attitude towards them would change. You would not scream like, I want to avoid them, I don't want to meet them, like, I don't want to see a red car, I don't want to see a red car. You would not be saying that. You would be like, oh, now I know why I have been seeing these red cars. I can appreciate the lessons that red cars brought into my life. I totally get it. And then you lose interest in seeing red cars, and you start thinking about something else that you want to see, maybe a green car. Then you start focusing on exactly the kind of guidance that you would want to get from tarot readers, or from psychics. That would also activate certain parts of you, where you are able to guide yourself, or you are able to find in yourself the things that you're looking for, right? That's why everybody, like every light worker, or a spiritual leader, or anybody who wants to guide, like who is actually who actually has the mission of guiding others, ends up summarizing it for you. Like, don't think about what you don't want, think about what you want. They don't exactly walk you through the mechanics of it, but they end up saying that, focus on what you want. So basically, Muscovite is a card which makes you understand why you keep saying that you don't want something, and see the lesson in it, so that you stop obsessing over what it is that you don't want. You completely summarize in your head the dynamic that played out for you to get the kind of lesson, or the kind of teachings that was absolutely intrinsic for your growth, and you let go, and then you move on to the next chapter. So this working out, this LHS is equal to RHS phenomena that happens, Muscovite helps you nail it. So something is happening in your life where you are wrapping up the cycle very well. You are absolutely able to understand the things that happened to you, and the reason why it happened to you. Maybe you could not see it in you, the potential, or you did not have you lacked self-love, self-worth, self-esteem. So it basically tried to make you understand your own power, that something seemingly terrible, seemingly heartbreaking had to happen to you. It could be an end of a relationship, it could be an end of a chapter where you just realize on your own that I could not be like I started the reading with, I cannot be living this way, and you decide to do something about it. You decide to step away from the situation, because you are the one who can do it. You are the one who, you're not waiting for divine timing anymore. You are divine, the timing is yours, the realization has happened, and now you can move on to the next chapter. This reminds me of something very specific to do with Muscovite. What it is? What is it like? The timing and everything. Yeah, so it basically helps you realize what all changes. Yeah, divine timing, realization. So you know how sometimes we wait for divine timing to come through, for situations to actually fall into place because of certain external changes. With Muscovite, you will realize that you realizing that the change has to happen is all the divine timing and external support you needed. External support is not the support anyway here. It is the internal change that was supposed to lead to the external change that you were waiting to see, and you realize that it is up to you. That kind of agency Muscovite gives you. It makes you realize, look at your past, make 1 is equal to, not 1 is equal to 1 plus 2 is 3 and 3 plus 3 is 6, and that sort of calculation you do about your lessons in life, and in very practical, very logical, very materially grounded sort of way you move on. Okay, so, and this obviously happens after you have able to settle the score, you've been able to settle the score with your past, where you're like, fine, I get it, like, I release you, forgive you, bye bye, moving on, something like that. And then the heart path oracle card that you have received is Keepers of the Children of the Earth, awaken your power. Here an interesting, I hope you can see the card, an interesting thing that happens in the card is that here you have the child, here you have the elder, and here you have the guardian. So this is a spiritual being, and these two with turtles are more like human beings, and child is you, who's being held by an elder, and your spiritual team is also supporting you. This is the time when you also wake up to your spiritual reality. Muscovite giving you the lessons also awakens you to your spiritual reality. This is not a very spiritual path in the, very spiritual pile, in the sense that you have not reached the peak of spiritual realization, but you're getting started. Something has happened, something has made you move, something has shifted in your life, and you have got, like, you've just started to make that shift. Maybe you were planning about this shift for a long time. Maybe you were aware of tarot, maybe you were aware of spirituality, maybe you were aware of certain terms that that we use in like used to demarcate spiritual growth and spiritual progress, but you had not taken step towards it actively, and now you're actively taking step towards what you knew you had to do. And you now understand that the path that you think was blocked, like I said, divine timing, you were probably waiting for some divine timing, something externally to come through and intervene in your life for you to make a shift. But now you're realizing that the path was always open. The shift that you needed was internal, for you to realize that you have to, like, walk this path, and this path is for you to take. And you realize that the path was always open, it was only you who was not ready, and you don't have any, like, you're letting go of any anger or resistance towards yourself as well for not realizing this. You understand that the divine timing that you were waiting for was your own inner realization to come through, for you to awaken to your own power. You understand that you're not alone here, you are never alone. You are aligning with the energies of the universe to realize your place and realize how universe is always aware of the mechanics of your spiritual growth. It's completely aware, and it's moving and shifting things for you just when it needs to shift. You are not late, you're just where you're supposed to be, even though it might seem like I have been here long enough to know that I don't want to continue living this way. But long enough is only in your head. You have been in this situation that you are breaking away from as long as you need it to be. Okay, as long as you need it for your growth, for your lesson. Okay, so you're not late, you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And we are going through today, when I'm filming this reading, June 14th, we have a strawberry full moon. I think this is the first full moon of this year, and you have moon energies being transmitted to these beings. And so you are also aligning, if you are starting on a spiritual path, you're also aligning with portals and the change of frequency on this planet, and you would now become more aware and feel collective energy more intensely. So it's all happening, it's all starting to happen for you. You're getting initiated on a spiritual path. You're understanding that you're not here alone. The illusion was of you being alone. The illusion was never of you being able to think, like you being able to sense that there is a reality beyond the perceivable reality, or there is something beyond what you are seeing, or the support and guidance that you were sensing from your spirit guide. You probably at some point thought that it's an illusion. Now you're realizing that the real illusion is thinking that they are not there, that you are alone. That is the illusion. The truth that you are waking up to is that you are constantly supported and guided by beings and entities that you cannot perceivably notice, but they are always there. See how gently the guardian is touching the child, and it is called keepers of the children of the earth. So uh, basically, you as the child of the earth is being supported by so many entities, living human beings. The elder, the guardian denoting your spiritual team, and elders denoting the people in your life. You could have gone through a very difficult phase in your life where you wanted to quit, maybe your life, maybe a situation, maybe you wanted to leave everything behind. It could have been a very, very troublesome situation for you, and I don't say this lightly. You could have stayed back for your attachment to your parents or an elder or somebody in your life, a human being who you knew would not be able to survive with the pain of losing you. Okay, so this chapter that you are ending could have been that intense, and you are waking up, like waking up to your power. It literally talks about awaken your power. So your power, that power that you have, or your spiritual truth, that is what is awakening, the very first stages of awakening you're going through. Now let's get to the cards. Okay, first of all, the energy of this portal is like, when I said first of all, this is not what I wanted to talk about, but the energy of the portal is so intense. I feel like I'm intoxicated with the energy, and as I'm doing this reading, I feel dizzy. I feel like I am not the one doing this talking. I'm not sure, but I think your spirit team is coming through, and my god, you really have a very smooth and dedicated spirit team. Very smooth, very dedicated. Okay, thanks to your spirit team, thanks to my spirit team for making this happen. But this is a very, very smooth transition that you are going into. Okay, or you are going through. So the first card that you have is the Star, the second is Seven of Cups, the third is Page of Cups, then you have Five of Wands, then you have Four of Wands in the reverse clarifying the Star, then you have Seven of Swords and Five of Pentacles clarifying the Seven of Cups, then you have Six of Pentacles clarifying the Page of Cups, and then Nine of Cups, Nine of Cups clarifying the Five of Wands. So basically, you had hoped against all despair that someday you will be able to put an end to this situation, that someday something will happen and you'll be able to fly away from this situation, and somebody will come and rescue you, somebody will come and save you. Maybe for this eagle, the savior is the sun, but this is not like completely an eagle. This is a mythological bird. I don't know the name of, I'll have to find out. But you felt like something extraordinary had to happen and just get you out of this situation. This is what you have been dreaming of throughout. Okay, this is what you have been thinking all your life. Even when you were a kid, probably your dream was that something happens, somebody miraculously comes and just gets you out of this mess that you are in. Something had happened in your childhood where you felt stuck or helpless, or you know how you have felt helpless when you were a kid. You have really not gotten out of that situation. You still feel as helpless as the kid. I mean, Page of Cups is also here. It's like, as helpless as you felt when you were a kid, you never really developed the power, or you never really developed the perception that you are now able to move out of the situation, that you don't need somebody to save you. You yourself are your own savior, and you are very much capable of walking out of this situation. Okay, so you were probably stuck in a castle or something, and you wanted somebody to come rescue you, but you had two legs. You could very well move out of the situation, but you didn't. You felt that you can't do it, so you are stuck in your own head, and that's what you've been stuck with, your own understanding, thinking that the path is blocked for you, but the path was never blocked. It was you who could not perceive it. The block was your own vantage point, your own illusion, your own perception. So anyway, then you have Page of Cups, where you are having this realization. There is no action with the page. Action happens once page upgrades to the knight, but with the page, With the page, it's mostly the realization that something is there, and see how the page is like holding his chest. Like something has to shift, and that shift requires you to be a different person. And that for you to become the different person, the change that has to happen in the page itself. Like the page will become the knight only when the page starts to transition. It's not like one day the page will wake up as the knight and the transition will start. No, the transition will start at the level of the page, and then it will go on to become the knight, and then on and on, progressing. So you kept dreaming and you kept thinking. You were this kid who needed help, who needed balance to be restored in your situation, but it was not coming through. And you found yourself in a lot of obstacles, a lot of conflicts. Your situation is so complicated. You think that your situation is so complicated that it's difficult for me. You think that it's difficult for me to explain, and you're kind of waiting that how will she explain this, because what I've been through is so strange. How will she explain this? Well, so the dream, the hope that you had of breaking free, breaking away from this of this dynamic, and then establishing your dream life, going towards your dream life, it requires you to break out of a situation that where you have built your foundation on. Maybe you need to move out of a marriage, maybe you need to move out of a job, maybe you need to move out of your house, maybe your relationship with the family members is the problem. The where you're staying, your house, your establishment, your foundation, that is what you need to shift, and that is what you need to change, that is what you need to move away from. And you have waited and waited for someone else to do it. Your dream, everything that you have dreamt of, was not of the place, did not include the place where you were at. You now know that the dream involves you being somewhere else, being a completely different character. You are not where you are supposed to be. This is not how it ends. This is not how it's supposed to go on. This is not how your life is supposed to turn out. This is what your inner dialogue sounds like, and that is being clarified by seven of swords and the 5 of pentacles. You are now realizing that staying in the place, choosing to be where you are at, constantly forgiving the people that you have forgiven, constantly thinking that the job that you have is the job that you're supposed to be in, or your situation is something that you have to accept because this is your own doing, otherwise you're being high standard, otherwise you're not being understanding, otherwise you're not compromising enough. Whatever you have said yourself, you were deceiving yourself. This was never you're supposed to be your life. Your life was not supposed to be a struggle. Your dreams are reminding you of the many ways in which you have deceived yourself, and you have not looked at your condition which was constantly, one second. One second. Yeah, I needed some. Yeah. So the lie that you have been telling yourself is that how your situation is not too bad, how a lot of people will dream of being in this situation. You have probably said yourself a lot of lies, okay? You have probably been, like, I'm just giving you an example. You've probably been in a workplace situation where you are being constantly exploited and told yourself that this is a job like this. A lot of people dreams of having a job like this, and I have this, and yet I'm being high standard, like I'm being high maintenance, and I'm telling myself that this is actually a job that I don't want, that I'm too good for this job. The problem is me. And if you have been in an abusive relationship, you're telling people that a lot of people cannot find someone that loves them, or find a relationship, a stable relationship, I at least have a person. I don't know what your inner dialogue was like, but your inner dialogue must have been something like this. And I actually have this. If you have been in a very problematic home situation, you've said yourself, a lot of people don't have a roof over their head, and I'm complaining about this, you know, but actually your situation was like taking you towards impoverishment day after day. Like it was getting worse and worse, and you were actually in a 5 of Pentacles situation, deceiving yourself, telling yourself that no, my situation is not as bad as I think it is, or people think it is, or it appears to be. I'm good, I'm good. You were in a very abusive situation, very exploitative situation, and you kept telling yourself that you're not, okay? And then Page of Cups clarified by the 6 of Pentacles. These feelings, these realizations which you have not worked upon, you are still in that inner child. A lot of inner child healing has to happen for this group, okay? Inner child wounds and everything that you have faced in the... Yeah, sorry. Oh, we are already at 30 minutes now. And I wanted the reading to be short, imagine. So the sound of the bell that you heard was this puja bell that we use in India. I don't know if you are interested in listening to the sound, but I just paused the video so that, you know, that sound does not interfere with the reading. But it's a beautiful sound. It's sound of puja, so yeah, you can understand that vibration. The sound has very healing vibration all the place. So now you are realizing that the inner child wounds that you are carrying, which you now realize were the problem, and you are processing what went wrong. It's still at the stage of realization, but it is not being translated into action yet. But the realization is strong enough to give you vision of the kind of balance you need to achieve, not only in within yourself but also materially. You're probably looking for some sort of divine intervention to come through in terms of a professional opportunity or a job or a stable reality, a stable future. But the balancing that has to happen, you are asking God to bless you with the with abundance that will allow you that will allow you and make you capable of sharing your abundance with others. You are probably thinking that I have nothing. This Page of Cups is just starting out with the realization of where it wants to be and the kind of change that it wants to see, but the realization is strong enough to know. The action has not happened, but the realization is strong enough to know at least what it wants, which is not at all what it has right now. So it has to move on from what it has. This is your next big breakthrough, the realization of enough is enough. That is the realization that you're having. 5 of Wands being clarified by 9 of Cups. So you reaching your 9 of Cups, this position where you're enjoying and you have everything and you're happy. You're so happy that you don't... Okay, so I'm not gonna pause it now. I hope you get to listen to this sound. It's a beautiful sound, isn't it? Tell me. Yeah. So 5 of Wands being clarified by the 9 of Cups. It's like you understanding that in order to reach this, you will have to battle some very hard situation. Like you will have to fight, and it is not going to be without a conflict. Maybe if you are moving away from a job, you're still in a contractual period. If you're moving away from a relationship, it requires you to battle probably a narcissistic person who will not let you go easily. If you're moving away from a marriage, then your husband is going to drag you to court, or you fear some sort of trouble. Maybe you have a child, maybe you have parents who are not supportive of you getting a divorce, something. Or if you maybe you have to move away to a different country and your parents are not supportive of that. Maybe your situation at your home is not conducive for you to move away. Whatever it is a difficult situation, but you now know that you reaching out for your 9 of Cups requires you to walk through or battle this, or go through this 5 of Wands. It is this 5 of Wands, it is this struggle that will lead you to your desired outcome, to your desired life. That is the breakthrough that you're having. And I told you that the big breakthrough in your life is, I cannot go on to live the way I'm living, Eckhart Tolle, right? So That's what the situation is for you. I think I have nothing more to say than to tell you all the best, group 1. I really know that you are, even though you don't have a vision of it, but I can tell you, looking at the star and ending the reading with 9 of cups, I know that you are moving towards something that is going to lead to a lot of fulfillment for you. All the best. Okay, this 3 of swords, don't worry about it. You are walking out of it as the like as the knight of swords. You're just saying goodbye to everything, like bye bye. And even when you hear this reading, you are still at the stage of page of cups, stage of page of cups. This is so funny. Yeah, so you're at the page of cups stage. So you have the realization for you to make the move. It might still take a while, and it might you might sit with the realization and then let it simmer and boil for a little longer, but the realization will get stronger and stronger. And now you know, like, I don't know what you will do. What you will do depends on your own will, and realizing that you are divine and you can use your own realization to be the divine timing that you need it to be. Your own realization is all the divine timing you need to walk out of an abusive situation. But you are making that change and you're making that switch. All the best, group 1. Let me know in the comments if you want to share your situation with me. Otherwise, I'll see you in another reading sometime soon. Take care. Group 1, group 1, group 1. So sorry, so sorry. See, again, in a very classic me way, I forgot to read out your card to you. This is what I should get out of my way in the very beginning of the reading, but I don't know why I don't do that. Okay, so yeah, are you in search of your are you in search of spiritual teachings? Have you found spiritual teachers to guide you? The wisdom you seek can often be found in books. Open your heart to the spiritual education found in the written word of mystics and saints. The power of prayer restores your spirit and returns you to your center. Saint Anthony, spiritual teachings are available to me in various forms. Wisdom and spiritual education come to me through my practice of meditation, prayer, and contemplation. I am a conduit to receive inspiration. I am open to the healing power of prayer. So that was your message from the card, group 1. So sorry I forget to read it out. And also it talks about books, the fact that you can read books to enhance your spiritual knowledge about the kind of change that you are seeking. So and I also started the reading by mentioning Eckhart Tolle, so you might want to check out his books. Okay, he has written some amazing books on spirituality, and be sure to check them out. Maybe you will find them interesting. Okay, so take care. Bye, for real. Group 2, I just noticed that the camera is shaking a little bit, so I'm sorry for that. It is happening because of the sound, from the wind from the fan. And the fan is the fan is the sound of the thing that you can hear in the background. Whew. Well, group 2. So if you have chosen the zebra Jasper, then this is your reading. Some of the things that I can tell you about your reading, about the message that will come through in your reading, is that you have had some very strong realization about the changes that need to be made in your life. And although there is a sort of certainty, like you're coming to this reading to get confirmation about what you already know, what you already absolutely without a shadow of doubt know. And that is the most interesting thing about tarot, how we resonate with different readings or different piles at different points, is because that our energy shifts, and also we can only resonate with something that we already know to be true. Okay, so tarot is both essential and pointless in that regard, because if you cannot get something absolutely new from tarot and think that, oh, this is my reading. It is only when something resonates, like something confirms what you already intuitively know, that you end up resonating with the reading, or understanding that the reading is for you. So you're here basically to confirm, and you are here to confirm, because what you know intuitively is so intense. The truth that has been revealed to you is so intense that it better be confirmed by someone who is able to read energy, right? Who is able to understand things that are normally that are not perceivable by the normal earthlings or the normies of the earth. Okay, I don't mean it in a condescending way. I don't. It's just sometimes we like, I know that sometimes we end up saying that we are probably better off than others because we are now able to perceive the truth behind the veil which we were earlier ignorant about. But then it really doesn't make us better or worse. I mean, we are all on the same path, or it's just like we are all manifestation of the same thing. It's all about us walking the same path a little bit later or a little bit earlier. That's it. Okay, that's all. So now coming to your reading, group 2. Why did I say all these things? Because the messages that are coming through for you are absolutely in sync with the gibberish that I just offered. Group 2, Zebra Jasper. This stone, which has two distinct, usually stripes of two distinct colors on the stone, talks about balancing. And this balancing reminds me of the inner balance, usually refers to the inner balance of feminine and masculine energy. So it reminds me of the yin yang balancing, and this could be the pile of somebody who is already involved in a divine counterpart journey, divine counterpart sort of relationship, or a very high level soulmate relationship. Although I don't really know what high level soulmate means. I mean, really, I mean, it's all about you coming together with the person that you're supposed to be with. Or now I just realized 10 of Cups has these two moons on top of this tower in a very counterpart sort of way. So yeah, it could be the pile of somebody who already resonates with the label divine counterpart, twin flame sort of a thing. And the breakthrough that you are going to have is that your journey, whatever you know to be true about your journey, is 100% not in your head. It is absolutely real. Everything that you intuitively know and imagine is real. Group 2. Wait a second. Group 2, I wanted to read out a message that Zebra Jasper has, like the spiritual meaning of the stone. It says that get out of your head, get into your body, let the zest for life flow through you. Okay, so that's the message from Zebra Jasper. It talks about you like not suffering in your intellectual thought, and then actually using the mind to understand the mind, and using your intellectual thought to understand the nature of your true self, who you are. That is the limitless experiencer, and you are not supposed to take these experiences too seriously. It looks like you're somebody who has already suffered a lot in their intellectual body. One of the things that comes to my mind, it's a very interesting reading, group 2. I mean, just hold on, I mean, it gets really interesting. And after looking at your pile, I was just feeling like, yeah, this is why I decided to do this reading, because messages like this will come through, because I was waiting for messages like this to come through. Not to say that I prefer one pile over the other, no. I mean, we are all pretty much, I mean, whoever you are, or whoever group 2 is, or sorry, group 2 is, group 1 is, group 3 is, group 4 is, you have to understand that it's manifestation of the same thing in different forms, and we're just going through these journeys as you know, in different forms and in different bodies, experiencing everything. Like, we're ultimately all one, and you are experiencing, group 3 is probably experiencing your journey as group 2, and you're experiencing group 4's journey as group 4. I mean, you basically did I butcher it? I hope not. I just mean that I am you going through this, you are me going through my life. The separation consciousness is actually an illusion, okay? Whatever is happening to others is also happening to us. Whatever, it's basically never happening to us but for us, but that's what we wake up to. Eventually, the reality that you are experiencing is me experiencing that reality as you. That's what you wake up to eventually. So it's not to say that one is better or worse, but the messages that came from group 2 is like got me a little excited, because when you're like this card came through, Zebra Jasper, the energy was so heavy, like it was absolutely vibrating. You know what happens when you go on to select a pile, that the pile that you are like that is meant for you starts like the energy starts shifting and vibrating, and there are like twists and turns in that card, in that pile. That is exactly what happened for Zebra Jasper. Maybe this is my pile, I don't know. Someday maybe I'll come back to this reading and go like, yeah, Zebra Jasper, that was the pile meant for me. So yeah, group 2. Basically, you're supposed to like bring yourself into balance and bring yourself into alignment and harmony with the universe, because something very interesting, very necessary is going to happen, and everything that you've been preparing yourself for, the preparation stage of your life, the preparation is done, and now you're being thrown into that moment, into like onto the world stage, where you're like, go be who you were supposed to be. Your preparation is complete, your school education is done, now you go be the researcher, the scholar, the actor, the writer, whatever you're supposed to be. Okay, that stage is coming in. Zebra Jasper talks about you not living in your head, and then like letting the energy of the universe and the nature flow through you. It talks about living life outside of your mental body, and then also like valuing or understanding, coming in alignment with the mechanics of your emotional and physical body. Okay, physical body also has intelligence of its own, which we tend to undermine often, and then we learn it the hard way, that our body knows better. So that understanding you are being asked to cultivate, and this very thought that get out of your head reminds me of this instance, this mythological example of Sisyphus, where Sisyphus, I think for escaping death twice, was cursed by Zeus to push a boulder up a hill, only for the boulder to fall down, like go down the hill every time he he puts it up on the hill. Every time he pushes it up the hill, it will again fall down, and then again he has to push it up the hill. This task he was asked to repeat for eternity. That task is symbolic of our intellectual, how we sometimes use our intellect to understand the reality of like the nature of the reality, and then we get stuck in the physical interpretation. We are not able to cross that, go on to the other side, where we're not able to cross that stream, or break that veil of ignorance and just move to the other side to see what the reality actually is. And intellectual thought can sometimes take us to the depths of nothing, where you end up like, how it says that extremely intellectual people or extremely intelligent people go on to have very severe bouts of depression, are very depressed because they don't see the point in reality, because they are trying to understand reality from a very like from a strict physical point of view. In seeing reality like that, they end up concluding that it's all meaningless. It all starts from nothing and goes back to being nothing. So life is meaningless, everything is meaningless. The pointlessness of this intellectual exercise of trying to understand something, getting an intellectual high out of it, or maybe establishing yourself as something, acing that goal or acing that interview, getting that achievement, whatever, you achieve that, and then again you are back to square one, where again you have to prepare to achieve the next goal, or scale the next mountain. So it goes on and on and on. So this intellectual exercise is also goes on and on and on, and you have finally realized that you are not going to get the satisfaction that you're seeking, the soul satisfaction, out of you seeking intellectual pleasure or seeking something with the mind. You have to now open your soul to come through. Like, you have to now learn things from your soul. The soul intelligence has to come through for you. You're now activating your soul. Okay, and this thing is very interesting for me. This realization has happened, and now you have not moved on to action stage yet, and this is what they are telling you, that be prepared. The action is now going to be taken. Okay, so your card breaking down your constructs, which talks about embrace new opportunities. Like, it says embrace new opportunities underneath. So basically, this card also talks about you being very, very careful about what you go on to do, or what you populate your schedule and your routine with, your daily routine with. Because the stage that you are entering into in your life right now is a very important stage. Everything that you are going to do from now on is very, very necessary. You are here to help the light workers, the many entities here who are here to help the earth shift into its new reality. You are one integral part of that team. You are a participant, you are a helper, you are one of them. And everything that you intuitively knew about your life to be true, that you knew that this reality that you are seeing can't be it, like you were like, this can't be it, there is something more. From ever since that you've known consciousness, you felt that there is something more, and yes, it is being confirmed, there is something more, and you are waking up to it. Pay very careful attention to what your lifestyle is like, what you choose to watch, what you choose to eat, what you choose to drink, what you choose to who you choose to hang out with. Because your activation is happening, your soul activation is happening, and the work that you will do in this chapter is very, very important. I'm having some heart chakra symptoms, and I'm just feeling like you are probably waking up to divine love, and not only divine love that you are here to experience on earth, but love of the divine for its creation. And you are waking up to a completely new version of reality. It is validating, this reading is validating your experience, and it is saying that your routine is of very primal importance at this stage, in the sense that you have to come into balance in terms of what you work on, in terms of how you rest, how much you play, everything. And the zebra Jasper talks about the same thing, that come into balance. This thing, yeah, wait a second, let the sound, yeah, sorry for that. So that was the sound of somebody blowing a conch shell, which is again a puja ritual. And I'm filming this reading at the juncture of afternoon going on to evening, which is called Shondha. And so Shondha Arati is happening, which is a ritual where at the juncture of this day going into night, a puja is offered to gods, right? So that is the transition that is happening for you, a very transitory period in your life. Now, you are going to be very busy in the next part of your life. You have just woken up to a new perspective, a new way of looking into life. That's what Dragonfly talks about. and thanks to that you are shifting your perception. Because of the shift in perception that has happened, you are now understanding that reality as you knew it is up for toss. Okay, and you are here helping earth to move into its new um, frequency, its new reality. And also you will be helped by not only your spiritual team but also people on earth who with whom you would be able to resonate, whom you would come in contact with because of the journey that you are on. And so it's asking you to connect with people that you resonate with, who will also be your colleagues and co-workers in this journey. Okay, and it also thanks you for thanks your soul for deciding to uh, go into dark night of the soul, the experience of dark night of the soul, and then purge not only the experiences and the traumas that you experienced individually but also for the collective. So you being integral part of the collective shift is what this card is talking about, and it is saying that be very very mindful of what you do and what your life looks like now, because you are important. And it is like it's there's a flag and with a message that you are important. You should realize it. Oh my god, I was just doing this and then I looked at the ace of swords. Yeah, so know this as the truth. The truth has been established. Oh my god, yeah, right. So the synchronicity, see, I was not doing it because the ace of swords was here and I was trying to reinforce the message. No, I was just doing it because I felt like doing it. And so you are because you are part of the shift and you are also experiencing the shift, it's asking you to be that mindful of everything that is happening. And another thing that it also talks about is you going on to do, yeah, you going on to do your best work or your soul purpose, like acting on your soul purpose now, like the soul purpose that if you've waited to know what is it that you have to do. It's also, oh my god, this is so synchronistic, synchronistic, in the sense that it also talks about you living up, like moving out of your head and then activating your soul, activating your heart. This also talks about you not living out of your mind but living out of your heart. Tune into your heart. Don't think in terms of what society has conditioned you to want or conditioned you to value, what conditioning you have received and what you have now up until now you have heard that this is valuable and this is not. It's asking you to do away with that conditioning and think from your heart that what have you come here to do. It speaks to you, the universe speaks to you through messages, signs, signals, through direct communication, you being able to establish direct communication with the spirit team. So this is how universe talks to you. You're being asked to pay very like pay very careful attention to the messages that come to you through signs, symbols and dreams, and asking you to also have a discussion with your soul family, people that you resonate with, your tribe, to make sense of your next step. It is asking you to now live from your heart, surrender all the fear and insecurities you may be having of you getting it wrong or not being able to making a fool of yourself or not being able to um, interpret it correctly, or then living an illusion. Basically you're breaking that barrier now. How if your soul purpose was revealed to you, you first reacted as saying this is crazy, this can't be me, I think you've got the wrong person. I think you're moving out of that. You're now very very sure and you're moving on to the next step, next stage, and that's what your breakthrough is. That's what the dragonfly is talking about, and you're now very very confident about it. You're confident about your soul purpose not being something conventional, and you're moving away from the conventional understanding of success and what is valuable, what is not, because you are here to create a new reality for earth. Your own reality is going to be that conventional, that new, and you're going to like the path that you're walking on, the road, the territory that you're charging ahead towards. It's absolutely new. The path is new. It's a complete different view from what has. You're probably creator of your own path. You're creator of your own like own story. You're rewriting everything. It's just whatever you're here to do doesn't exist, you are going to bring it into existence. That is how important it is, and that is why it is asking you to be that much more careful. It's like it comes with caution. Here, listen, stop that TV, stop that radio, stop that sound. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? That's exactly what is coming through. So that's what he said. No, you live from the heart. Now activate your heart to know what your soul purpose is. Stop the mind. And this also talks about stopping the mind. Beautiful. Right. So 10 of Cups. The cards that you have is the 10 of Cups, Ace of Swords, Page of Pentacles, then Justice, then 10 of Cups is being clarified by the 3 of Wands, and then Ace of Swords is being clarified by the 4 of Wands in the reverse, and then Page of Pentacles is being clarified by the 2 of Wands upright, and then Justice is being clarified by the 8 of Swords, okay? And then the back of the deck energy is 7 of Swords and then 3 of Swords, right? And now looking at the card, you'll be like, why were you so excited? The cards, I don't know if I should be excited about the cards, but if you are not excited about the cards, that's because you don't know what I know, and let me tell you what I know. So basically, the back of the deck energy being 7 of Swords, and underneath that is 3 of Swords. It basically means that the deception that you have been living under, the matrix, the illusion that you have been living in, you have suffered the pain of it. The matrix made you suffered. Sometimes, it is said that it's not about escaping the matrix, it's about becoming the matrix, because when we are not originally the beings of third dimension, we have experienced other dimensions. Our soul is like this limitless, endless, timeless thing that knows, like, been through, like, can travel through all these realities, right? So it basically says that when our soul is, there is this understanding that when our soul was in the higher dimensions, or was not here, it basically wanted to be born on earth to experience the matrix, to become like experience 3D reality, to experience this physical sense of touch and everything, and basically experience the matrix, right? So the reality that you want to escape from, when you were not born in it, you basically were just as willing to come and be born and experience this. So the illusion that you have of escaping this matrix is the resistance that you're putting up because of not understanding how your soul wanted to experience this. The resistance is of you not being in alignment with your soul. And when you stop the mind and then go on to live from your soul, and go on to live your life from your soul truth, you understand that there is no resistance. The resistance was being created by the mind. You're actually in alignment with your life completely. You understand why you are here and why you're here to experience the matrix. The matrix then cannot trap you anymore. You end up, when you, like, that's what it's pretty much like shadow work. It's pretty much like realizing that doing inner work, and then realizing once you integrate your demons stop troubling you. Okay, so it's you are realizing what the matrix is, and then one day you're just out of it. You're like, it does not have an impact on you. You stop feeding it. You're like, I know exactly what is happening, and I don't want to be part of this anymore. I want to be part of something different, right? And you're being able to operate out of the matrix. You're being able to operate on this new earth, new reality, new vibration, where you live your life out of soul consciousness, out of unity consciousness, where you are not trapped by your ego, which basically thrives on fear and insecurity. So that deception that you have felt the pain of it, my friend. You've really felt the pain of it, and now you are like going out of it. You're like just saying bye-bye to it, and you're traveling out of it. So 10 of Cups, you now know where your highest fulfillment lies, and that is to expand your vision. You expand your understanding. Your best life, your life of highest fulfillment requires you to travel, and this travel is like very much in astrology like 9th and 12th house travel, which talks about long distance travel, but are also like 9th house is the house of religion and 12th house is the house of spirituality. So, and these coinciding with the house of travel, like this being these two being the house of travel. 9th house is long distance travel, and 12th house is foreign travel to foreign lands and unknown places, right? It basically means that, and 3 of Wands basically being that expansion travel sort of card, it basically means that you are now traveling, like astral traveling, and then traveling to different dimensions, and then you basically are experiencing reality beyond what is physically perceivable by people living in three dimension, and that is your highest fulfillment, and that you discovering this reality or spiritual truth is going to bring you highest fulfillment. Your 10 of cups is very much, it very much has to do with the expansion of your soul, the expansion of your vision. Okay, then ace of swords and clarified by four of wands in the reverse. You have realized that the truth is that something which will bring you into balance, like I said, this is a divine counterpart sort of a pile. If you have met your divine counterpart, or you have had very strong realization of this union, this inner union of yin yang, which if your yin if your counterpart, be it yin, be it yang, like the divine masculine or the divine feminine, we all have yin yang within us, but it's just predominantly yin yang, which would then go on to be divine masculine and divine feminine. Like if the the person in whom yin dominates would go on to be the divine feminine, and the person in whom yang dominates predominantly would go on to become the divine masculine. So now you're realizing, if even if your counterpart is not born, you're realizing that in order for you to achieve this union, this inner union, there a truth you have realized is that what was keeping you from achieving this union, the veil, the kind of certain blocks that were happening. And that is why I wanted to do this reading for in the 666 portal. Like, this reading will have the energy, the activation codes that we received in 666 portal, no matter when you come across this reading. Okay, and you will be able to revisit the lesson no matter when you come to this reading. So and it is because I wanted to make full use of the energy of the 666 portal that I wanted to do this reading now, and wanted to choose this, like wanted to do the reading on this topic. So basically you're realizing your the whatever you thought was your, like your realities was founded upon, whatever your foundation was, what was your, like whatever your established foundation was, now is being de-established. You are understanding that you have to, in order to come into union, there, like you have realized a different way of living life, a different way of looking at life. And now you know, like the truth that you have now known is making you understand that why you have not been able to achieve that union, either with your counterpart or the inner union that you're trying to achieve. Why you don't feel established, why you feel like, you know, something is out of balance. The imbalance has become clear to you. The reason of imbalance, the illusion that you were living in, the way you were feeding your energy to the matrix, the way you were going on living a life and repeating certain things, the pattern is becoming clear to you. And you have realized the changes that you need to make. That you know, that's why your card said that stop living in your head and understand, just move, flow, like free yourself. The time has come for you to pay very close attention to what is going to happen in your life next. And this realization has dawned upon you, that what was keeping you from achieving this Four of Wands upright. And then Page of Pentacles clarified by the Two of Wands. Page of Pentacles is where you have realized solid steps that you need to take towards your union with your counterpart, or your inner union, or establishing yourself as that, because it has a king and queen in this card. It is often my counterpart card in this deck. Like, I regard it as this counterpart card. So what is required for you to do in order to establish yourself as equivalent to, like, obviously you are what does it say, like how do they say it, like you are equals, like energetically you are equals, but you know how equivalent to, like you would be equal not only in terms of energy, but also in terms of, say, your achievements and your position on earth. Okay, because the counterparts have this unique signature, energy signature. If one rises, the other is capable of rising to the same level. Okay, and even though these levels are perceived only by us, by, you know, people who think that there are levels. I am talking about levels in a very loose manner because of lack of a better word. Like, if your counterpart is a celebrity, then you have a potential of becoming a celebrity on earth. If your counterpart is a priest, like a celebrated priest, then you have the potential of becoming a celebrated priestess on earth. If your counterpart is like an athlete, you have the potential of becoming the athlete on earth. And that is what you're realizing, that whatever your counterpart, yang is basically what acts, basically the more material twin, so, or the more material version, and yin is the spiritual, the person, the energy connected to the spiritual realm, and yang is connected to the material realm. And so you are realizing what all steps you need to take in order to integrate the yang, and to act on what you know to be your reality spiritually. So spiritually, if you know that you are supposed to be a writer, an author that writes books on spiritual truth and different sort of realizations, revelations, you are now getting the energy and getting the materials and everything to act on it. Action has not happened, but the realization of what you need, you're now starting to put together resources. Why do I say action has not happened? Action happens at the stage of night, not at the stage of page. At the stage of page, you're more like an intern who's learning and who's understanding what all resources they need and what all they have to align in order to take the necessary step. That is happening. So that is your breakthrough, realizing what all changes need to be made. And that's why this card was talking about everything, schedule and everything. Pay attention, like balance everything out. You're moving into a very important chapter. Okay, justice is being clarified by 8 of swords. So you are being justice, like the justice that you are being delivered by, the justice that is being delivered to you by the universe. Oh my god, there's a leg, there's a leg, this severed leg here. So and that being clarified by the 8 of swords is with basically saying that even though it might look ruthless to the world, the justice that is being served by the universe is bringing you to a standstill, bringing you to a position of introspection, halt, pause, not letting you move, because the universe has a lot to deliver to you, a lot to tell you and teach you at this point about your next chapter. About this chapter is all about learning about who you are and what you're here to do, breaking the matrix, having spiritual breakthroughs, having realizing what all you need to materialize this realization and materialize what you know to be true, to ground it into your reality. And that's why it is getting you into this 8 of swords position. You are not stuck. You will be stuck in your head, like your family or people who are close to you would be like, why aren't you doing something, or why aren't you applying for a job, why aren't you taking up that project, why aren't you going for this internship? You are like all day sitting, and sometimes you might meditate, sometimes not. Doesn't mean that if you don't meditate, these revelations won't come to you. These revelations will come to you anyway. So people will be asking these questions thinking that you are stuck, but you know exactly why you need to be stuck at this moment. This stuck feeling will be brought upon you by yourself and also by the universe, where you have to be stuck and absorb these things that you are realizing at this point. And understanding how you have been deceived and what sort of illusion people are in order to break it out, like break it down for them. It also talks about breaking down your constructs. My god, the synchronicity in this reading. So you would be breaking down your construct so that you can break down the construct for others. You can help them deconstruct the reality. Group 2, I'm like so overwhelmed by this reading, this message, and I just knew that it had to be something like this. Look at the synchronicity. So you will first break down your own construct, then break down others' construct. Okay, these opportunities that are coming to you, these opportunities will be absorbed by you, not in an active way, but more like in a passive way. You will be passive and absorbing these activation codes and these energies that will be coming through in different portals, and you will be absorbing and then realizing, and then it will simmer and boil, and then things will cook inside of you. And then when the dish is presented to others, they will be like, yeah, justice has been served. Now I realize why it was absolutely necessary for you to be in the stage or position, or the situation, circumstance that you were in, where you brought yourself to a complete standstill, where you refused to meet a lot of friends, to go out, hang out, to be with people that you loved being with, or participate in some of the things that you earlier enjoyed. So those sort of changes. Okay, And let me read out your card to you. See, for every group I remember to read out the card, but not for group 1. I don't know why it happens. So Zebra Jasper, have you been getting outdoors often enough? Are you spending time reconnecting with nature? Get outside and dig your hands into the earth, garden, play in the grass with the animals, walk in nature, and allow the ground beneath your feet and the sun above your head to nurture and realign you. Okay, I hope there's nothing to explain about the message. You will be more inclined to reconnect with the nature. Oh, another thing I didn't talk about, the bear. You will be walking with confidence in this next phase of yours. Here you had seen a lot of visions about you understanding why things happened the way it happened, understanding how what all need to change and what more has to be done, and understanding of this past and future will now bring you to a very grounded state at your, like, in your present. And in your present you will display that confidence of knowing exactly why this thing is very necessary, like this is a very necessary stage for your spiritual development. And then the archangel messages from Saint Francis. My clarity is unparalleled. Oh, yes, obviously, that is exactly what I was talking about. I'm nurtured by the gifts of nature. Animals and other creatures bring me messages to guide me through life. My connection with Mother Earth provides me with vital energy. I am focused and grounded. Wow. This card also has message of, you being in connection, or you understanding how Mother Gaia is coming through to help you align with the frequency of the earth so that you can carry out your purpose on this planet. So that's it for you, group 2. See you in another reading sometime. It was great spending time with you. Take care. So group 3, if you had chosen the red Goldstone stone or card, then welcome to your reading. Let me read out the card first and get it out of the way. Group 3, what has happened, group 3? Is it a relationship that you are finding it difficult to move on from, or do you feel pressurized by others to be in a relationship, be in a connection, or find that dream job that you have not found yet, and others are making it seem like time is running out of your hand and you have not done enough about the things that you have already should have achieved by now, and you're feeling like you don't have enough time. You should be able to navigate through this as quickly as possible because it's getting late and you're getting old or something like that. You've set yourself some deadline, some time frame, which the universe is not happy about, and the universe wants to talk to you about that through this reading. So yeah, let's read your card first. Red Goldstone. Are you in touch with your magnificence? Have you been living your life in full splendor? Find ways to bring more joy into your life. Become aware of the source of emotional challenges or perceived blocks so you can release them. My God, the synchronicity in the readings. Just look at this. Have you been living your life in full splendor? Find ways to bring more joy into your life. Yeah, so the last line is get in touch with your inner radiance and shine your light brightly. Whew, the message from the Archangel is Serapis Bay. I am full of vigor. I am authentic and loyal. I confidently reveal my true colors. I am full of life-enhancing joy and goodness. My life is dynamic and full of vibrant energy. Being all that I can be feels fabulous. So, group 3, the synchronicity never fails to shock me with tarot. It's just every time I do it, there's a different stone card I pull, there's a different oracle card I pull, but it all falls into place in such a way that I'm amazed. So the card that you have is Time Wave, which talks about being in the present moment. Group 3, first of all, Red Goldstone. It is the card that talks about courage and confidence and you to come into your power, where you are able to understand, differentiate between your wants and needs, and realize what you need in order to be happy. And one thing that is coming to my mind is that we sometimes overestimate what we don't have and underestimate what we do have. I think this quote is by Jordan Peterson. So basically you are, and also red goldstone talks about self-deprecating thoughts. You are in the energy of self-sabotage, okay? And you are not seeing your value, not seeing your value or worth because of some circumstance that you are in. You are you are externalizing your sense of worth, and you're thinking that it is only when you have achieved something or something has been um, incorporated into your life physically, materially, that you will be seen or deemed worthy in the eyes of others. Forget others, even in your eyes. What others think doesn't matter, but you think that way. You think that you are not worthy in the eyes of others because you are not worthy in your own eyes for not having achieved something, or something terrible has happened. Either it's a breakup, or you're either not married yet, you have to be, or either you're married but without kids, or you don't have that job, you're unemployed, or you don't have a degree, or you did not perform well. Something has happened, some shift, or maybe you are not getting validation from the person that you are crushing over. Your crush doesn't care about you, your friends know about that, and you cannot face them anymore. Some problem where your validation has been externalized, like sorry, not validation, validation is, forget it, like your worth has been externalized, and you think that only after you have met those requirements set by you will you be worthy, okay? And red goldstone talks about being able to overcome that kind of thought. It helps you, it protects you from psychic attacks, and it also encourages that strength and confidence within you, that inner power, by making you understand very clearly that what you want is not often what you need, okay? What you want is not what you need. You are basically wanting something out of ego or illusion or something, or sort of not being able to perceive the true nature of something, but it's not integral to your survival, it's not indispensable. What you need you already have. This is the message that red goldstone comes with. Now this time wave, here you see a lot of otters playing in the water. So basically it feels like happy times have come, but you have not yet given yourself the permission to be happy yet. Something has happened after which you have not moved on. Maybe people are trying to get you out of your house. Something has happened, either a breakup or some situation has happened after which you are not going out of your house, and you don't think it is right for you to be happy just yet, or you are not in a mental state to be happy. You cannot be happy, that's what you're saying. Or you cannot enjoy, the people that you are calling you out to have fun are people you feel that these people judge you, these people are not being able to understand you, these people will make fun of you. Something like that is there, okay? And let me tell you something that just came to my mind. Group 3, this is my third group, and I already did 2 groups, and ideally I would be very tired by now, but somehow I'm not. I feel very energetic to do something, to go ahead with the reading. So given how I always pay attention to how I feel during a reading, I feel like you have a lot of energy to to improve your life, and you are constantly in your head about what do I do, how do I change it. You're not pausing to reflect. Universe is like, please hold on a second, let me talk to you, but you're not talking. You're like, what do you need to do, should I do this, should I do that, should I move this, I can't, I don't have time to enjoy, I have like so many things to do because I am lagging behind. That's what you feel. Like I have so much energy to set everything right and give this message to you. Feel like you have all the energy to to improve your life, but you're not understanding that your life does not need improvement. You just need to relax and have fun. You are fine, you're doing fine, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and everything is unfolding the way it's meant to be. It's fine. Group 3, it's fine. Time wave talks about being in the present moment. It talks about how time is a construct, and we have created this sense of past and future, but it is basically a continuation. Our life is basically a continuation of nows. It is only present moment that there is. You're present then, you're present now, and you'll be present somewhere else. So it's basically a lot of nows that you're not recognizing. You're living a lot in the future. You have moved on from the past in a way where you have felt something and you're like, your heart was probably broken open or torn open, and now you are moving away from it in a way where you don't want a repetition of that, and you have completely switched. You're not in your present and you've completely moved to the future, and you're like, how do I get this future into reality? You're probably looking for a love connection or something which will satisfy your soul, a connection which will sort of satisfy your soul. Okay, something that you have lost, you want to recover or re-establish, rediscover. And these autos are basically autos are very fun loving animal, and they like to stay in groups, and it is also encouraging you to stay in group and understand that how you spend your time is crucial, in the sense that time is like, now is all we have. Okay, now is all we have, and you deciding to be too much in your head about how you cannot spend time on trivialities like this, on fun and things like that are trivialities. You have to do something serious, something that something more valuable. This more valuable, less valuable discrimination that you have created in your mind, this duality that you are living in, is like you're completely under the grip of duality. You're not being able to escape it. Your next big breakthrough is understanding that you are not getting the point, that you are in a state of like, you're like completely vibrating with energy, but you're not. You need to pause and understand that what you're doing is only going to bring you chaos. Understanding the chaos in the midst of which you have found yourself is your next big breakthrough. You are not valuing fun. You're not valuing your family, your friends. Let me read out this paragraph to you from this card, okay? This card is all about time and how you manage it. Remember, time is only a human construct and an agreement. It does not actually exist. Time appears to have a future and a past, but it really, I spoke about that, right? But it really is just a series of continuous nows. You live and function in the present moment, then this present moment, and so on. You can leave the parameters of time whenever you meditate, dream, or have fun. The flittering dragonfly wants to show you a different way to view a current dilemma. It may not be what it seems. Beautiful Venus, the planet of love and relationships, watches over you and wants you to focus on a special connection with someone new. With the number 73 and the full moon, you will surely be successful in manifesting your dreams. Remember, you always have enough time to accomplish the miracles. So that's what your dilemma is. You are basically not understanding that you have all the time for this connection. It basically sums up everything I've said. Like, you are somehow not looking at the situation from a different perspective, which will allow you to see that you are being somewhat illogical about your situation. Okay, now let's get into the reading of this card, because you're clearly not understanding how you need to have fun, and you need to relax, and you need to stop self-sabotaging yourself, self-sabotaging the situation, and having these self-deprecating thoughts towards yourself. You need to first rise in your own eyes before you rise in the eyes of other. Group 3. So first card is 7 of Cups, and then you have Hanged Man in the reverse, then you have 10 of Swords, then you have the Devil. Something very, very intense happened here. Whatever you felt was your dream, and you tried your level best to protect it. Some situation, maybe a relationship, something which you felt like was a manifestation of your dream, or is going to get you your dream manifested in reality. You are extremely defensive about it. Still you are extremely defensive about your dreams, about what you think you want. You have no understanding of what you need, and that understanding is you need to develop. That what you want and what you need are different, and you have to develop an understanding about this. The next big breakthrough is realizing that you are being stubborn. And 7 of Cups being sorry for calling you out like that, but sometimes it's just what we need. Group 3. 9 of Wands, is basically talking about you being defensive about the castle in the air, and you thinking that everything that you dreamt of is indispensable, sorry, not indispensable, is sorry, intrinsic to your happiness, and is absolutely necessary for you to think of yourself as having a valuable life on this planet, or having a valuable, making a valuable use of your time on earth. Okay, just at this moment, I remembered so many dreams I had that I couldn't remember for the longest time. My god, it's like your dreams are chasing you, and not in a healthy way, in a very negative way. You're thinking that these dreams are intrinsic to your being, but it's pretty much just your conditioning, the conditioning that you have received since you were a kid, everything that you are taught to value. In the eyes of the universe, it's as good as, from the source consciousness, everything is like, every job that everyone does, everything, no matter what, even even a lizard hunting for or preying on insects is as valuable as anything else. And you don't have to live your life thinking that if you don't do something which others have taught you, or you have been taught to value, or which others value, or others hold as something great, or others hold in high regards, then you would not, then it would mean that you are not making a good use of your life, or you're not having a meaningful existence. It's not like that. The Hanged Man in the reverse, clarified by the Four of Cups, you are refusing to have a good look at the situation and get the lesson, look at the situation differently, which will give you the necessary lesson, will give you the necessary lesson to move on from the situation. You're so engrossed in not repeating past mistakes that you will keep manifesting past mistakes, because you have not developed this understanding of why those things happened, or why you were in those situations, the lesson that you had to receive. You are not respectful, and you're not grateful for those lessons. You're not being able to see the point in those situations, and you're so hell-bent on wanting to avoid them, so stubborn about, I don't want that, I don't want to date another person like that. You are not being able to probably move on from a relationship or some situation that you had in the past, and yet you are so hell-bent on, not move on. Maybe you're not being able to move on, not because you love them still, but you're not being able to move on because you're angry with them still. Okay, so, and you're like so stuck about not repeating it that you'll end up repeating it. Why? Because you've still not gotten the lesson. You're still communicating with the universe about what went wrong. You are not talking about what you want, or what is it that you need to do in order to set it right. And Four of Cups, it's like you are not being able to see that fourth cup. In traditional tarot, it's very different. Okay, and I'm going by the traditional interpretation, because here the image is different, but the Four of Cups still will have the same message. You are not here able to perceive something, a solution that is in the background, and you're looking ahead. You're looking ahead thinking that, look, the three cups that I have lost, but there is a fourth cup which has not been spilled, and it isn't like, if you want, you can make opportunity, sorry, take the opportunity of making use of that cup to build the life that you want to, but you are not looking at the cup. Ten of Swords clarified by Five of Swords. You actually came to a point where you had no way of, like, you reached a point of no return because of some situation, either some professional or emotional, personal, something, some situation, some relationship, maybe, because Two of Cups here. And so much, like, it gives me a feel of a relationship that ended, which, like, ended in a very bad note. And this person, you are also very defensive about learning about your own mistakes, and you're going back and forth and just going in your head, you are just in your head about what went wrong, what the person said, this person said this, they should not have said this, like all the arguments that you had and everything that went wrong in that relationship. And you're really spending your mental energy there, exhausting yourself thinking about how you were made to face the Ten of Swords situation by a person who had no regards for your feelings. You're just going on revisiting the details of either the relationship or the job or whatever happened. You're revisiting and reliving that moment constantly. And this is the energy from which you are desiring a relationship, a Two of Cups soulmate sort of a relationship of equal give and take. But this desire that you have is not from understanding of your own worth. It is the understanding, like it is coming from a point of view where you feel worthless, you feel like you don't deserve to be respected. The only way you will deserve respect is if you can manifest a great partner, is manifest a great job, something that will make you feel worthy, make you look worthy, will then your worth be established. Right now you're not worthy in your eyes. That is what you are realizing. It is the realization that is coming to you is of the revelation of your own pattern, the pattern that you're not being able to break free of, break free from, whatever. So this pattern that you're not being able to break is what is becoming apparent to you in your big breakthrough, and you're gonna have that aha moment, oh my god, and you're gonna do everything to take action towards, again, this deception. Seven of swords came in all the readings, so this deceptive energy is really the collective energy, the ways in which you have been deceived, the ways you could not perceive the truth, and you're like, oh, this is why I kept repeating this person. If you're a person who had uh, dated a lot of people who had the same pattern, different people with the same lesson, same pattern, or you ended up in jobs where your boss would have, like, you would have the same, you would end up manifesting the same conflictual relationship with your boss, then you'd be like, how come I always end up with these people? You end up with these people because of the energy that you are in. You're constantly focusing too much, I don't want this, I don't want this. I didn't look at the fact that why it happened to you in the first place. You're thinking, I don't have time to enjoy, I have to get sort this out first, and you are externalizing your problem. You're seeking solution externally without going within, without meditating on what you need to learn, or what your problem is, or what your vibrationally, what all changes you need to make in order to break out of the situation. There needs to be introspection and reflection on self-reflection. You need to generate and cultivate self-awareness, which is lacking, and that is, I don't mean to be rude with you, group 3, with peace and love. This is your job and you have to do it. I can't help you with it. It's just something that I can tell you. It's a message I can bring to you. And you're spending a lot of mental and physical energy in just making external changes, but the internal changes, the inner work, the shadow work is not happening. You're not ready to go through a dark night of the soul. You know why? Because you would say that I don't have time for this. Just like you would say that I don't have time for fun, or anything like that, because these people who I'm interacting with or hanging out with are judging me anyway. I don't have time to go for a wedding. I don't have time to go for a family function, because everyone there will judge me for things that I don't have. And the only way I could go there and have fun is if I am able to make these changes in my life. Okay, this is what you will keep doing until and unless you're able to rise up and see the self-deprecating thoughts that you're having. How you're not being able to appreciate yourself. Understanding that you are deceiving yourself by choosing to hate yourself and not rising in self-love is going to be your next big breakthrough, group 3. Yeah, so funny moment there, which I again felt like I could not afford. Just like you can't afford to have fun, I felt like I could not afford to go experience this funny moment in the middle of this reading. But anyway, you have time for all the fun, because and you just pause, love yourself. You have time for all the miracles. Everything is gonna happen for you, group 3. Just relax. But me telling you won't do it. You have to realize it on your own. I'm just a pair of talking hands on the internet. Why will you believe me? The realization has to come from within. So if the reading resonated with you or whatever your situation is, if you want to share it with me, then leave a comment. You can reach out to me via email or Instagram. Otherwise, I don't have anything more to say. See you in another reading sometime soon. Take care. Group 4. I was going to say 3, but I corrected myself. Group 4. So if you had chosen the blue calcite, then welcome to your reading. Group 4. Before I was going to start your reading, I was thinking to myself, group 4, huh? And then I looked at your, because I'm supposed to be tired, but I wasn't exactly tired. In fact, I was quite happy that I was doing this reading today. But then I looked at your stone and I was like, my god, they are going to put me to sleep with their energy. That's how soothing it is. It's not that boring, you're going to put me to sleep. It's like that soothing, calming. Oh, it's so, like, it's so attractive and so nice, so comforting, that I might just go to sleep with their energy. That blue calcite energy, group 4. So what is your next big breakthrough going to be? You're going to be very interested in this reading. No. I hope you're interested. I mean, you're going to find this reading very interesting, I think, because I find it so interesting. I did not mean that you're going to be very interested. Obviously, you are probably interested. That's why you click. That's why you're here. But that interesting bit, yes. Group 4, I mean, you've got some energy, guys. How does it feel at being that bitch? Because you're like that person for your family, for the world. You're that person. You are that, sometimes we refer to certain people as the chosen one. You are that group 4. So how does it feel? Let me know in the comments if possible. Anyway, so let's read out your card first. Blue calcite. Are you ready to be liberated? Hell yeah. But yeah. Do you realize the value of your success in your work and achievements? Allow room in your life for the development of inner peace. Use peaceful energy to bring about enlightened activity, serenity, personal power, and transformation from anger. Yeah. And the archangel messages from Tara. I speak with loving kindness. I'm liberated and confident. Love vibrates through the sounds that come through me. I effortlessly align with inner peace. I allow love, calm, and tolerance to integrate into my consciousness. All right, so blue calcite is a very soothing, calming stone. It's not like I had looked into blue calcite and the details of the stone before. Like when the card first came through, I just got this gush of soothing energy from it. Like I was like, I knew that group 4 is a very important group, but that I have to do 4 groups, and group 4 will just explain to me why it was necessary for me to do 4 groups, because often doing 4 groups is not easy. It's like there's a lot of details, and because I end up doing very detailed readings, it takes a lot out of me. But it's a very necessary reading. Even I can understand. You have made it, your energy has made it clear to me. I get it. I'm convinced. Now let's get to the reading. Blue calcite. Blue calcite has a very soothing effect in the sense that it is able to transform energy. I wouldn't go on to call a particular energy negative or positive, because something like that doesn't exist. It's like illusion of the mind. Energy is just energy, and it's here for a reason, to achieve a particular purpose. So basically, from the union consciousness point of view, or this from the point of view of the source consciousness, what I would like to say is that energy that needs to be released and transformed, because it's not serving the people affected by that energy no longer, that energy can sometimes be transformed by blue calcite. And this showing up as the stone for your reading tells me that you have the capacity to bring about that transformational change for people in your family and your close ones. They are the people, these people, you are the person that these people come to when it comes to making sense of a difficult situation or something that has happened to them. In fact, you will also be the person who interprets some unperceivable, unknown, strange phenomena or patterns in their life and makes it perceivable and intelligible for them to understand and then move on from or break free from. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, so we were saying blue calcite has this energy where it is able to like if you place it in places which are extremely polluted, then it is able to cleanse that space, and that energy, like it can transform the energy into, like it can raise the vibration, change the frequency, transform the energy into something positive and something which is I don't want to use positive, but yeah, like that, you understand what I mean. Like something which is more beneficial, something which is good for you, so that will serve the vibe of this place. It can work on uh, absorbing negative energy, or places which are polluted. It can absorb the energy from those spaces. So that's what blue calcite does, and that coming as your stone just tells me that you are that person for your family, for the people in your life, and also for the world, where if you stand in a place like every, I don't want to, call something evil or good, but the thing that is coming to my mind is evil ends at you. Injustice ends at you, not evil, but more like injustice. Sorry, injustice ends at you. That's something that is supposed to change when it happens, when it comes to you and you are there and you recognize, you see that situation, or it happens in front of you, you transform the situation, or you act in a way where that situation is for the situation gets forever transformed. And the people, like for example, let me give you an example. If if people keep handling a situation a particular way, and that is not right, the way they are handling, or a shopkeeper is handling a situation is wrong, and and one day you're there and it happens in front of you, where they are same situation is happening, and the shopkeeper is handling the same, like the situation in the same way, and you see it and you immediately go for questioning. Like you ask the shopkeeper, why do you do it, and with peace and love, it's like you're not being confrontational, but you are being very very straightforward about it, that why do you do this way, it is not right and you better change it. And you put your point across in a way where the shopkeeper is forced to, not like forced, but energetically forced to transform their attitude, and the situation is resolved in the highest benefit of all. That is the person. If there is a fight happening in your family, or there's a confrontation and you are there, people come and tell you this has happened, and you just listen to the situation, and then you talk to the people, the parties involved, and you're like, why are you doing this, and why is this not being done this way? Don't you think that this should be a necessary change that you should make in the way you're doing things, and the way you speak, and the way you establish your point, like you put your point across them, establish your arguments. People are just swayed by your logic, and people are like not swayed, like they understand the point in your logic, and people are like, one second, yeah, and then people are like, this makes complete sense. That is the transformational energy that you have. And if you have not been able to channel, like in some capacity you will have it, but this energy will become more apparent, and you'll become more aware of this energy, or you will come more into this energy. This is going to be your spiritual breakthrough. Not spiritual, big breakthrough. Obviously all breakthroughs, no matter what, are spiritual, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So basically, obviously this is what the breakthrough is: you realizing your power, the transformational nature of your energy, of your presence, your essence. And I was right, like you putting me to sleep, your energy putting me to sleep, that's how soothing this energy is. Again, about dreams, you would be able to, this blue calcite helps you remember dreams and everything. You will get a lot of messages in your dreams, a lot of cryptic messages in your dreams, which are extremely important to set up the foundation for your spiritual growth and development, to materially ground your soul purpose into this world. You will be getting a lot of those messages in your dreams, and you'll realize, and you will be able to make changes with those messages. You will be able to understand what lies beneath. It's like the calming and soothing effect of the stone is going to make you pause to reflect on the magic in the universe, and you will get messages very seamlessly, and understand that the resistance that we put up is why we suffer. You would not put up any resistance. Whatever comes your way, the positive, negative, the dualistic dimension that I talked about is going to dissolve for you, and it's going to dissolve to liberate you from the resistance. Are you ready to be liberated? Was your message to liberate you from that resistance that is put up by mind, and your soul is going to take charge. Your soul is going to come through. And the card that you got, the oracle card that you got, is I who guide you. The synchronicity, imagine. I just knew you would get these sort of messages and cards. I just knew it. Like, this is what happens, when you are able to feel energy. And the message beneath that is, dare to face yourself. Here we see an owl, and owls are very intelligent animals in the sense that they are able to perceive things and energy that are not perceivable by us, like normies, like not us, like humans who are not on a spiritual path, or who are not able to sense energy and are very materially invested in the matrix, are sometimes not able to understand the spiritual, the energetic shifts, and the energetic dimension of things. And owls are somehow able to do that. That's why they are considered a symbol of wisdom. Okay, you are emerging as that wisdom for your family. You are able to like heal those patterns in your family that have been going on, or like that have been, that your family has been repeating, or family members have been repeating, your ancestors have been repeating those ancestral patterns for like forever, unconsciously, not knowing that they are doing it. Certain genetic makeups that you are going to recognize and release. You are that person for your family who is going to break the generational curses. The difference, sometimes people are hated for being that person in the family. They are not liked, but the difference here is your family is going to like you. Your family is going to appreciate that. It's not like your path will be of no resistance, but the energy of blue calcite that you're coming into, it is so soothing, so transfer, so comforting. It's like people are going to know, they are going to be able to sense that you mean good. Whatever chances that, whatever, sorry, not chances, changes, whatever changes you are going to bring into their life, whatever changes you're fighting to bring into your family and your situation, you are doing it for their good, for some higher purpose which probably they are not able to face, but they are able to understand that you're doing it for their own good. That is going to be a breakthrough, to understand that your family is on your side while you break generational curses. You are going to understand who you are for the world, and you've got a very supportive family, I feel. Again, these blue roses are going to make seem something. Okay, let me hold the card for you so that you can see it very clearly. The blue roses are going to make it these are not the blue roses, oh sorry, blue rose, sorry, the blue roses are going to make it, these are transformation symbols, butterflies. Blue roses are going to make it make something which earlier seemed impossible achievable now. And here you can see the imagery of two, and basically two is a number of partnership and union, spiritual union. It could also be, you could also be resonating with a divine counterpart journey, where you we have two black cats. So there's a lot of two imagery here. So where you resonate with a label like twin flame or high level soulmate sort of a connection, and you are coming into balance within yourself first before reaching into union with your counterpart. These trees are made from, like, firmly grounded by the hands of the source. So you are divinely, your journey is divinely protected. You're to rise and shine. The kind of strength that you will need to have to cultivate within you is being provided by the divine. Divine is your source of courage and strength. What do you need? Who do you fear? There's Mars at the back, in the background, giving you the courage and the strength to go ahead and make your dreams and your soul purpose into reality, to ground your soul purpose into reality. You are emerging as the guide, I who guide you. You are emerging as the guide in this next breakthrough. You are realizing and aligning your sources that are required for you to be the guide that you are. Okay? And the black cats are here symbolic of unfinished business. You are obviously, you are a soul who is, you are one of the souls who has had a lot of lifetimes. Like group 4 is obviously going to be a collective, so you are the soul. What do I say, like the energy that you have is an old energy. Okay, you're not visiting Earth for the first time. You've been here, you've been around, and you've been in other galaxies, and you're here, this wise being. You have come on this planet for a reason, and obviously it is to clear those unfinished business. You're not here to have fun, you're here to make the situation right for people of the earth to have fun, to create that reality. Okay, and you know all this, you're the guide. I mean, I am sure I'm not the person telling you all this for the first time. You know, there have been spiritual breakthroughs like that already. This is like one of the major breakthroughs you're having. But again, this, they, like, you know, this, there have been a lot of breakthroughs already communicating this to you. And the crescent moon talks about realizing your dreams and connecting you to your vision of who you are meant to be, realizing the guide that you are. And here, as dare to face yourself, it talks about you just waking up to the fact that yes, this big, you are probably going to emerge as a big spiritual leader or a big author, someone who's going to make big shifts in this physical reality. From the consciousness point of view, there's like nothing big or small. I just mean that on earth it will seem big to the people of the earth, and for the reality of this earth, the change that you will bring in or what you're going to do is going to be big. And that realization, forget the realization, you are going to emerge as that person. The next big breakthrough is about you emerging. Like, dare to face yourself. It's not preparing to face yourself or preparing to understand who you are. It's like preparation is done, dare to face yourself. That's the big breakthrough that is happening for you. And now let's get into the reading of your, like, let's get into your cards. You have 7 of Wands in the reverse, clarified by 5 of Cups upright. The resistance that you were putting up, how I told you, like, there was, usually people look at pain or look at misery in a very negative way, but you are understanding that it is essential to our growth. It is essential to impart certain lessons to us, okay? And you are completely integrating that side of you, that hurts, the side of you that had been hurt by others, which still aches, that was in a lot of pain, and you are integrating it, not putting up the resistance. You're not saying that I don't want these experiences, I want very specific experiences, which was a message in a certain group, and the resistance was making them repeat those patterns and have those experiences in life constantly because they were not able to get the message. But for you, it's like you're getting the message, you're not fighting it anymore. If pain comes, so comes. If you're reaching that, yeah, you're probably going to experience a divine union with a counterpart, but you are in that stage. Sorry for making the camera shake, okay? But I know you don't mind. Like, I know, look outside, groove flow, let's face it, I know you don't mind. But anyway, it's like you coming into this realization that yes, you have a divine counterpart you are meant to come into union with. But even if that does not happen, so what? It doesn't happen, it's fine. You are in the now. It's like you are anchored in the moment where you understand who you are. For the reality, you're least bothered for to take, to be worried about your situation. You trust the divine, you understand who you are, you understand who the divine is, you understand the nature of the reality. You are past that stage of being in awe of the reality. You've been in awe of the reality, you have encountered the reality of the creation. You have like been amazed, and you're like, oh my god, this is, that you're supported by the divine. Who are you? Like, who will you be afraid of? What will you be worried about? Knowing what you know. It's like, yeah, if it's going to happen, if it's supposed to happen, it will happen. If it doesn't happen, then it's to the highest, it's not happening for the highest good of all, and I understand and I support it. You are one with the divine's will. You're like, the divine's will is not separate from my will. My highest good is in alignment with the divine. Okay, that is the kind of alignment you're coming. That's why your energy is so soothing. You will smile. See, 7 of Cups, 7 of Wands in the reverse, clarified by 5 of Cups. You would not even resist pain. You'll smile at the face of pain. That's why I said that the energy will be transformed by your presence. That's the kind of breakthrough you're having, that you'll stand there, you'll smile. Even if this wasn't the case, this will be the case. This is the blue calcite interpretation I gave you is what you're going to become. You'll smile at the face of adversity and be like, hey, so I understand why it hurts. Come, sit, let's talk. Like that. That is going to be, you're going to have you're going to invite your demons and your pain and the part of you that hurts over a cup of tea and have a solid discussion on, where they're coming from, why they are feeling the way they are feeling, where they want to go from there, what their goals and visions are. You're just like going to have a good time with your with everything that the world considers negative. Everything that the world considers negative, you're going to call them to your party and be like, yeah, I heard that people are judging you very harshly. Fear not, you're free here. Express yourself. If you have to cry, cry. If you have to scream, scream. And you're going to be so open, so open to these emotions that are otherwise shunned out by people, that you will be like, that these emotions will lose their power to affect you. Like, if it will be neutralized, duality will be neutralized due to union consciousness in you. Wow, group 4. See why I was talking about your energy that way. Then 6 of Wands being clarified by the Hierophant and the Hermit. So you have introspected on what success means to you and what it means to succeed in this world. You have given very good thought about you grounding yourself in physical reality and what acting on your soul purpose, and you coming into, you know that you're going to do something big, but you have also introspected on what is big, what is not big. It's not like it's big for the world, but for me it's like, it's just my purpose. It's, something comes to my mind. In Zen, they say that Zen consciousness or something like that, you've probably heard about Zen. It says that before enlightenment you chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment you chop wood and carry water. So basically, before and after enlightenment, you're doing the same thing, chopping wood and carrying water. But what has changed? What has shifted? Your resistance, your understanding of the world. Earlier you thought, oh, I'm just chopping wood and carrying water, and then after you have enlightenment, you're like, I'm chopping wood and carrying water. It's the feeling of understanding who you are in the creation, and that this understanding of there being levels, somebody doing great work, somebody not doing great work, somebody being extremely valuable, somebody not being valuable, that will completely dissolve. You will know you're here to experience the world and experience the reality. And success is to have that experience, to become the Hierophant, to become that all-knowing person who is able to grasp the true nature of reality. All-knowing being, coming into soul consciousness, coming into union consciousness, and emerging as that leader that you are, to whom people come for answers. You are probably going to emerge as one of those spiritual gurus that people come to for answers. You are going to come into your power as you're set on your highest, as you're put on your highest timeline, and you're going to emerge as this leader. Oh, again, I who guide you, the Hierophant, the Hermit. Like, see what tarot does. That's what is happening. The Hermit, you have been in your cocoon long enough, meditating, understanding the nature of reality, understanding what success and what leading people will mean, who you want to be, and then you've realized that what your success, the definition of your success is. Okay, and that is what you are moving towards realizing. That is the breakthrough. The breakthrough is this calm, composed understanding of your soul purpose, which for the world is huge, but for you, it's just your purpose. Like somebody just cooking dinner for themselves, you are going to step into your purpose, knowing that just like somebody is making dinner or making their bed, or cleaning their house, or giving birth to a child, just like they are doing what they're doing, I am doing what I'm doing, and it's no different. One is not different from the other. We are all here for our own purpose and doing our own thing. Beautiful. Again, Two of Pentacles being clarified by Eight of Swords. It is the balancing of the matrix, and this realization, this balance that you will have to bring into, the balance that you have to strike now with who you are becoming, that is going to keep you stuck in this energy of figuring out, of knowing exactly what step you want to take, and just be very specific about step 1, step 2, step 3. It's that balancing act, because what you are emerging as, what you are trying to do, requires a lot of not only outer balance but inner balance as well. And that inner balance, achieving that inner balance, would require you to come in that Eight of Swords energy a little bit. Okay, and you are not you are losing judgment for everything. You are losing judgment for being still as well. You are here completely accepting the fact that just like we have, there is a part, like we need to take action, and action has its own value and place in our life. Being in a moment, being in resolving a situation in our head and trying to understand why it's here, the lesson it is presenting to us has its own value. And that is the balance that you are striking. You're striking a balance of inner conflict that is emerging, and you resolving that, you taking out time to resolve that, and also taking action towards everything that you're meant to take action towards. That balance you're striking, okay? That is the balance you strike, and you'll do it beautifully. The Eight of Swords coming out upright also makes me think like you are going to be a little bit in your head about this, striking this balance in reality. You are going to have to mentally work out your a lot of the things that you know is necessitated by grounding something materially into this world, okay? And you're going to balance your spiritual knowing with your material action, and that is what is going to, you realizing all this is not going to, like, is not going to lead to action right away. There is going to be a moment of internalizing and absorbing everything that you're realizing about this big breakthrough that you're having. Is about you understanding how you're gonna plan this, how you're gonna execute this financially, materially, physically, how you are going to execute this, okay? There's going to be some reflection that is going to happen, and this reflection is going to be deep. You're probably going to bring yourself to a standstill, to a pause. You're going to refuse to act on it until and unless you have resolved this mentally, that how you are going to go about this. And people are, even if people perceive this stuck, you like watching you in this stuck place, they're going to know that it's going to it's happening for a very like it's happening for a high purpose, for the highest good. Then you have Six of Cups clarified by the Two of Cups. I just knew that the Two of Cups will, like, is meant to come, and when it showed itself a little bit, I just pulled it out. So, and eventually you are going to understand that all this is happening for you to come into union with that person. And this card, I Who Guide You, also talks about that you are coming into union with a person. And if you have that person in mind, if you have met your twin flame, then that is the person that I'm talking about, the counterpart. If you don't have a person in your mind, you're going to meet that person, who is supposed to come help you and ground this. And this card exactly talks about that you're going to there are two worlds. You're going to get a partner to execute this, to be the guide that you are, to be the leader, to be the guide, to execute your purpose on this planet. You're going to get that help from your soul friend, the person who carries your soul signature, the soul frequency, soul vibration, is going to come through and help you execute that. In, like, you will come through in divine love, you'll come in divine union to tell the world about divine love. And that is what you're preparing, you're basically preparing yourself spiritually and emotionally, psychologically, intellectually, energetically, in order to establish, ground this divine union onto this planet, like into the physical reality, to tell people, to show people what love actually looks like, what a divine union looks like, what it is that people here get married and come into union pretty much on the basis of match the following. My job matches your job, you stay in this place, I also stay in this place, our family backgrounds are the same, this, so we are together. This is not how love or how relationships are supposed to be. It's all supposed to be vibration. It's a vibe, okay? It's a soul vibe, and that vibe is that energy is what you are focusing on, and you are re-establishing onto this planet, the importance of that energy, based on which connections like this should be formed. And for you to become that person, to carry this out, you have to energetically first become that person. And that's what your spiritual breakthrough is, your big breakthrough. Sorry, I keep calling it spiritual breakthrough, but I think this is your spiritual breakthrough. Your breakthrough is realizing who you have to become in order to realize, or materially realize this reality, okay? To ground this reality, come into union with your counterpart. Just look, Six of Cups, which talks about soulmate connections, is clarified by Two of Cups, which also talks about soulmate union. Okay, it's like the union that you are going to come into, it's going to be celebrated as an example. It's going to be everything that you're going to do. Group 4 is going to be celebrated as an example, and you're realizing this. You're realizing that you're here to channel an example. You're here to make a spectacle. Yeah, you're here to make a spectacle out of, like, you, reality of creation brought you here so that a spectacle can be made out of you, an example can be set out of your story. And that is what you're preparing yourself for. You have basically made yourself a medium for the divine to channel itself. And the divine, you have surrendered to the divine, and now the divine is using you to achieve these things. And these things that the divine is trying to achieve through you, which are coming to you through visions that you're making yourself constantly available for, is your breakthrough. You're like, oh, this is what you want me to do, okay, now this, okay. And now these fruits that are coming, like the fruits that the tree is bearing, are your rewards. And now you're like, you have understood that the time has come for you to reap the rewards. Magician, the sun, the life that you wanted. Oh, the Queen of Wands you have underneath that. You are going to be, your energy is going to be so attractive, irrespective of the gender. Your energy is going to be so attractive for others. I would not be surprised if people just want to just want a piece of you, just want to hang out with you, just be like, hey, can I talk to you, or can I just hang out with you, or come here, let's spend some time together. It's just, you are in a very attractive energy. The energy is so attractive that I don't feel like ending this reading. Imagine, this is my 4th group and I don't feel like ending this. Imagine, that is how soothing and attractive your energy is. And you have manifested this your highest timeline, your happiness, by understanding what true happiness really is. And happiness is not excitement, it is not dopamine seeking experience. It is founded upon peace, and you have realized this. It is founded upon you realizing your true nature and letting it shine. And you are completely manifesting it by becoming that energy. You're manifesting this union by becoming that magnet for divine love and divine union. You are becoming love. You're not chasing love, you're becoming love. You're not chasing chasing wisdom. You are becoming that wise person. You are making space for wisdom, you're making space within yourself to contain that wisdom. You're container of wisdom, you're container of divine love. That is your big breakthrough. That is what you're becoming. That is what you're realizing. That is what you have realized that you are. It's big, it's huge. But again, group 4, I'm so thankful for your energy, for your presence, not only on this channel but here, but on this planet. I felt like I just had to say it, okay? And I hope this reading resonated with you. If it did, then do leave a comment. I don't have anything more to say than to just say that I'm so happy for you. Then can't take my eyes off these 2 of Cups. Like this 2 of Cups, more than the 6 of Cups, it's a 2 of Cups. You've probably felt this person energetically, or knew this person when you were a kid energetically, or as a friend, and then maybe parted ways. But you are always able to, at a soul level, energetically sense this person, and that is the person you're coming into union with. You are understanding that your story, as much as it is about everything else, it is also a story of divine union. Okay, union in every sense, like union with God, union with your counterpart. The union with counterpart is in many ways the union with God itself. Okay, so it's about ascending. It's about you reaching that final stage with peace and love, where you are able to liberate yourself. Just now, I would just like to take you back to that first statement. Are you ready to be liberated? Are you, group 4? Because that is exactly what is coming for you. Okay, and I'll end your reading here, group 4. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. I hope to see you in another reading sometime very soon. If you want to get in touch with me, then there are many ways you can do that: Instagram, email, leave a comment. Okay, but tell me about your situation. Otherwise, see you in another reading sometime soon. Take care.